One of the simplest effect types in Congo is the intensity chase effect. First, select the channels. This can be done numerically from the console, which is the fastest way, but I'll do it with a mouse just to show you what I'm doing here. The next thing you do is hold the insert key and press effect. This will open the insert effect playback dialog, where you have a number of options, and the first option and the first tab is chase effect. So I use the down arrow to choose the first box, which is create chase from selected channels. I'll hit modify to check this box. Down arrow, I can give my chase a name. Down arrow again, I can enter a number of steps I want to divide these channels into, and its default set to the amount of channels I had selected, which was 15. The next box is distribution of the channels within these steps. If I hit modify, I open my choices, and there are a lot of choices: sequential, one by one, interlaced, symmetrical, and inverted versions of these. You also have random and true random. I'm not going to go into all these here because you can read about them in the manual, and there are images that show you how they're distributed. So I'll just hit modify to confirm sequential, down arrow to execute, and hit modify again. Now before I do that, you should be aware that two things will happen when I hit modify. The chase effect I specified will be created with 15 steps sequential. A new chase effect playback will be created and selected in the effect dock, so all I have to do to start this effect is to bring up the level wheel or set a level to that playback. So I hit modify, the effect playback is there, and I set a level of 100% to it, so the effect has started. The level is shown, and the effect is running here on the channels. If I'm happy with it, all I have to do is record it into any preset right now. There is one thing I can control live on the fly with the chase effect, and that's the actual speed it plays back at. To show you this, I would need the console, but if I open a console mimic in the bottom dock area, I can show you there. So I select the bottom dock area, and I open a console mimic. As you can see in the console mimic, since the effect playback is selected, I get two controls on the parameter wheels for moving light controls. And the right one, which is the one I'm going to show you, gives me two options. I can tap a tempo on the wheel key, and the new tempo will be used. Or I can slightly alter the rate it's playing back at by adjusting the wheel. This is my live control of the chase effect. Now, to show you the back end of this, if I want to edit the effect, I open the effect editor in the effects node of the browser. So I hit browser key, I use my down and up arrows to select the effect node, the right arrow to open the node. I go down to my chase effect, right arrow, down arrow, and here I hit modify. I use the right arrow to go to the first position, text. I can edit the name of my chase here. In this column, if I press modify, I open the step editor. I'll do that in a minute. The next cell allows me to control the direction of the chase. So if I hit modify, I can choose between forward direction, backward direction, bounce between forward and backward, or random direction. Choose with arrows and press modify to confirm. Same way, I can go to style with the right arrow, hit modify to open, and with the arrow keys I can choose positive, which adds intensities, negative, which subtracts intensities, and build, which will add each step to the other step until you reach the last step and it starts over. The loop time is the average time it stays in each step. So if I have 15 steps and a loop time of 15 seconds, it'll stay 1 second in each step. In, dwell, and out times can be set per step. If I don't care about setting individual times for each step, I can set all steps at the same time from here. So if I enter 1, this is the time that will be used in all steps. If I want to set individual times, I have to go into the step editor. Rate minimum and rate maximum is a random rate window for the step time of each step. It's set to 100% default. If I change both minimum and maximum to 200%, the loop time will be twice as fast. The perk here is if I set one of them to 50% and the other one to 200, Each step time will vary. If it's 1 second, it will vary from 0.5 to 2 seconds, which can look great for fire or lightning effects. You have to try this out to see it. I'll use the left arrow to go back to the steps position, modify to open, and now I'm in the step editor. Here I can edit every step of this chase. So I can edit the step time, how long the step is there, the in time, the dwell time, the out time. I can't set individual channel levels, but I can set a high level and a low level for all channels in each step. If I want to add or subtract channels, I just select them or deselect them. So you can see here, I'm in step 4. There's a red 4 over channel 3. If I want to add, for example, channel 2 to this step, I'll just add that channel. And if I want to subtract a channel, I can just subtract it using my numerical channel selection tools. There is no record function here. So you have to be a little bit careful because what you change is stored immediately. To close this window, I hit escape. To close the next one, I hit escape. And if I open my effect dock, the effect is still running. If I want to store this effect into a preset, I'll just hit record and record the preset. So if I clear the effect and I play back preset 1, the effect will play back.